Hello, my name is Jaden Hudson, and I'm here to talk about more of the nuances into understanding digital distribution. Since my partner has already gone with the basic structure of knowledge with digital distribution, I want to kind of go ahead and take a different approach and look at sort of the more understandings of the moves to make with digital distribution in the music industry. When it comes to the road of distributing music, especially digitally, it often looks at it in the state of the marketing. You'll see a lot of times with digital streaming platforms like say YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, the labels and indie artists usually with the way that they market things, they'll specifically tell you where everything is going to be going and put out. That way, it inadvertently the financing of the way an album or even a single is often marketed is dictates how the distribution will follow. Whether you want to be exclusive to a single DSP, or if you want to say be more open and just go to multiple. Big corporations have much more leeway in in the distribution endeavor because of how they can have a more easier time to get exclusivity deals with people like Apple and Spotify and YouTube as a way to, especially when it comes to like household names within the respective genre of music that they're distributing from. And of course, there's usually two main routes with distribution of music to talk about, which is physical copies and of course digital streaming. And I'll get into how the balance of the two have changed over the couple of years. The way the way that this digital distribution works in my eyes is how how big labels and indies go about it. Of course, with the budgeting of distribution, big labels have an easier time to lock in numerous amounts of deals or like specific caveats that allows them to not only get a better budget in distributing their digital properties of their music and masters and stuff, but to also be able to, how you say, just a good word for it, to be able to gain more profit in their endeavors and such. Whereas an indie will mostly try, since they're in a much smaller place in stature, they will more than likely not keep everything in a completely multi-platform synopsis as a way of trying to gain as much exposure among themselves as possible to be able to get those specific connections in order for them to like gain more profit and such for themselves and thus increase a bigger budget for themselves. And when it as it comes for physical versus digital sales, the way that digital sales have shifted the way people generally consume music, especially in this time period, because with physical copies, you need certain devices and such that'll be able to play a vinyl or just a regular small little disc player that you have. Where digital, literally, you can go anywhere. You can literally just go anywhere with it, and in which we literally have a constant music playing device right in our hands at all times. And with the way that digital has given that ease of getting the music that people want to hear, I feel that's how digital distribution has grown over its physical counterpart, especially considering times as we are in. Uh, with the thoughts of digital distribution, we also talk about royalty benefits in the way that licensing is handled for digital distribution. Of course, when it comes to getting it off the getting revenue off the DSPs and stuff, there's a lot of change. There's a lot of changing of hands that before there any sort of like revenue and profit get handed off to you. So inadvertently, of course, they try and get a number of licenses in other areas of digital media, like say TV shows and films, especially like big name TV shows and films, because the amount of money that you can get from a really strong standpoint movie or like a really long running TV show, that's what you can easily gain revenue off of that. And that again, that is another bonus towards big labels, because again, their connections in the industry, in the mass media industry, in comparison to indie devs. I mean, not indie artists. But however, when it comes to pure digital streaming services and whatnot, I feel indie artists and companies have a much stronger standpoint in knowing where to gain the best exposure, what's the best places to stream at a given time, and to generate the best profit from, even despite not being able to gain sort of certain exclusivity deals and whatnot that can more so guarantee benefits for their artists and whatnot. And of course, as I stated earlier, it comes with licensing, and at a number of times, the modern times at this point are starting to use more permanent stream downloads and streaming services with DSPs as the primary place for distribution. And with that, it's because physical copies are now dwindling in usage, and it's because of that ease of just being able to have music anywhere and everywhere at all times. Kind of puts it into that perspective, and that's how I feel it is going to continue on with digital distribution. Is where it will come to the point where we no longer even will want or need physical copies. But with that said, that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.